The handheld Nintendo 3DS launched, and that means it's time to reboot the Mario Kart franchise with none other than Mario Kart 7. Bikes and Waluigi were no more, but the game did have some interesting augmented 3D effects, as well as some unique levels that will forever be remembered. Let's take a look at all the different tracks in Part 7 of our Mario Kart retrospective. We've partnered up with Happy Kids for this series, so download the app and watch for free. Welcome back, everyone. It's Abdallah here with even more Mario Kart retrospective. Welcome to episode 7, where we're going to talk about your favorite Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 7. Yes. All right. Set the stage. It is the Nintendo 3DS launch, the brand new handheld with actual 3D that you have a little slider over here that allows you to see some really interesting graphics. I love this game because the controls are super tight and they really went back to basics on this one, coming off of Mario Kart Wii. So what we're going to do is we're going to showcase everything you need to know about Mario Kart 7. We got some really fun tips and tricks along the way, some trivia, and we're going to do one lap around every single one of the tracks. Now, there's going to be some really fun, unique ones, and they do a really good job of remaking a lot of the previous ones, just like some other Mario Karts did. There's so many levels in the entire library of Mario Kart, why not? Anyway, super excited for it. Our next episode is going to be Mario Kart 8, so that will conclude it. Anyway, make sure you guys pay attention to Mario Kart 8 coming out soon, but of course, we're here about Mario Kart 7, man. B-Dasher, Red Monster wheels, we've got water physics, you've got glider aspects. Dude, this game is so cool. Anyway, let's jump into one lap in each course. And here we are at Mario Kart 7. Let's take a look at the character select screen. You guys can see over here that it is pretty interesting compared to what Mario Kart Wii was. Now remember, we're on the Nintendo 3DS over here, so the amount of memory on here compared to a Wii game is probably not as big. So, of course, they downsized a little bit. You've got Mario, you've got Luigi over here, you've got Peach, of course, and Yoshi. Koopa Troopa's here, as well as Toad, DK, and Bowser, the original, right? That's the entire roster from 64 and SNES a bit. You've got Daisy over here, we've got Wario, we've got Rosalina, of course, coming back, Metal Mario being a brand new character, Shy Guy getting his own spotlight over here, very fun, Honey Queen, which is a very interesting choice, Wiggler on board, and then of course Lakitu as a playable character. Now you'll notice that Waluigi isn't here, so it's kind of interesting to think about that. Anyway, one of the other fun things, of course, you can do is play as your Mii character, and that's my Mii character. I always played as that, because it was really fun to make your own Mii in the Nintendo 3DS and then see them racing, right? Anyway, let's jump into Mario right over this way, my favorite character, of course. You can see over here that there's going to be a lot of different karts, of course, that you can go and race with. Of course, there's going to be some of them that are better than the others, some of them that share the same kind of stats, and all of that. So either way, whatever works for you. You can see over here that there's going to be different tires that you can choose from too, which is going to be one of the first times that you can do something like that. So choose whatever tire you want, and then of course you can choose gliders. The main gimmick in Mario Kart 7 is going to be gliding and going around underwater too. This game is actually really good. I'm very excited to show it off to you. All right, anyway, let's jump on into it. As you can see over here, there's going to be 8 cups with 4 levels each inside them. The first 4 cups are going to be all original levels, and then the bottom 4 cups are going to be the retro ones that introduce all sorts of remade levels from the previous Mario Kart games. All right, let's jump into the Mushroom Cup and show you what's going on. And here we are at Toad Circuit, the very first level of Mario Kart 7. This one's going to be pretty fun to show off because I love the graphics on this level. If you take a look at the bottom screen, which is going to be right up above me over here, you'll be able to see your character moving around similar to that of Nintendo DS. Very fun. You'll also notice that since I'm running the B-Dasher and Red Monster wheels, that's going to be my personal favorite kart combination. This one is so fun. And of course, it takes a lot of inspiration from previous Mario Kart games with collecting coins. So of course, you want to collect as many coins as you can in order to keep your top speed. Our next level is Daisy Hills. This one is going to definitely introduce the gliding mechanic within the game. And it's housed in a little area with a whole bunch of different villagers? I don't even know. You ever look at those houses? Anyway, one of the cool things that you can do in this game is obviously tricking off of different surfaces. We've seen that before in the Mario Kart Wii, which is awesome. And there's going to be some boost panels here. You can see that there's a pathway to the left-hand side. If you want to take that with a mushroom, you can cut it off. But anyway, the glider is going to be the main thing about this game that makes it so fun. Anyway, we're going to trick off of that. We are going to mini turbo all the way down here and release, just like that. Welcome to Cheep Cheep Lagoon. This is where we're going to show off playing the game underwater. I'm excited for that, man. It is so fun. I remember when this game came out and we're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be racing underwater? Usually, whenever you fall in the water in Mario Kart, Lakitu has to get you out of there. But you can notice over here that the Cheep Cheep are actually all over the place. There's a bunch of seaweed over here. There's going to be some coins inside these little clamshells. You can grab them if you're fast enough so it doesn't land on you. Anyway, right over this way there's going to be a glider section, and there's also a section where you're going to go underwater one more time. Watch out for the side steppers right over here. Going to be a couple boost panels and a final stretch before the finish line. So fun. Here we are at Shy Guy Bazaar. This is by far one of my favorite levels in all of Mario Kart 7, simply because of the desert nights. I love the design of this level so much. You can see over here that we're going to literally go through an entire shop or a bazaar and just drive our way through it. Get a whole bunch of coins along the way. There's a little boost panel over here. And what's really fun about that is that if you're playing in the GP mode, there's going to be these little pots all over the place. With those pots, if you hit them, odds are you get some really good items out of there if you're really lucky. Anyway, right over here, we're going to take a look at the starry night sky. And we're going to see a flying Shy Guy on a flying carpet right over there. So cool. Anyway, you can use a mushroom to cut off a little bit of the track over there on the right-hand side if you really want to. But other than that, enjoy the night sky. And here we are at the Flower Cup, home of Woohoo Loop, Mario Circuit, Music Park, and Rock Mountain. Some of these courses are very unique, and I can't wait to show them to you. And here we are at Woohoo Loop. An entire level based off of the world inside Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, the Woohoo Island. You can see a bunch of Mii characters just flying around right in the back, just cheering you on. I love seeing that. You got the blimp right over there with the big old Wii logo on it. This is so fun. Honestly, paying attention to such great detail. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. I love the Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort so much. So seeing that this level was made into Mario Kart, phenomenal. Anyway, you'll notice over here that there are going to be cars that will be driving along with you over here. Just like Toad's Turnpike, you want to watch out and make sure that you don't hit any of those cars because they will bowl you over. There's going to be some alternate paths that you can take. You can see right over there on the right-hand side, there was one little path. And of course, there's a little split in the road over there on the left-hand side. It goes a little quicker if you do take that. Anyway, this part is a little scary. You can jump off of the road onto those boost panels. Ooh, right over there on the right-hand side. If you're feeling a little risky and you want to save a little bit of time. But of course, we don't necessarily need to. We're just taking a casual way through this game. Anyway, this is going to be your third lap. It is Woohoo Loop, but you're not going to do the same loop more than once. You're literally just going to go through all these different levels and these different laps just one time, which is so fun. Anyway, one of the things over here that you can do is hop on the way down. I do remember that makes you go a little bit faster in the game if you're ever on a downhill slope and you do some hopping. So anyway, final turn right over this way. Cut off that blue car and we are through. And here we are at Mario Circuit. Yes, every Mario Kart needs a Mario Circuit, right? Anyway, let's jump on through and see exactly what we got over here. There's a lot of shortcuts in this level from what I remember, and I remember having a field day going through all of them. You can see right over here that to the left and to the right, there are spots where you can't cut off. I do love the little cherry blossoms that are just flying all the way through here. So that's definitely a Japanese thing. Cherry blossoms are amazing. What we're going to do over here is bounce on some of these little mushrooms on board. And we're going to go inside Princess Peach's castle and spiral all the way up through the courtyard. Yeah, spiral straight through there and we're going to be launching ourselves straight out. You'll notice over here that there are going to be some oversized Goombas that you can indeed hit with green shells or any other kinds of items. And if you do so, they'll drop some mushrooms for you. So anyway, watch out for the floating blocks over there and continue on. And here we go, we're at Music Park, or in some regions, it's called Melody Motorway. I'm excited for this one because I get to show you all these cool little instruments. I don't know if you guys are music fans out there, but this one is so good. You can see over here that there's going to be a lot of keyboards, a lot of speakers. You'll see right over this way that there are indeed some piranha plants that are going to try to chomp you. There's a little shortcut on the left-hand side over there if you didn't already see. But yeah, these winding turns on all these keys, man, you gotta watch it. We're gonna do a little trick off of that. We are going to indeed hop on top of that drum and catch a glider section. Now this over here, there's going to be the little music notes that are going to be bouncing like that. You can get squished by them, so just be very careful. And as you can see over here, there is a drum cut all the way over on the right-hand side, in case you want to shave off a couple more seconds. Here we are at Rock Mountain. Oh man, this level is so cool. I like this level a lot due to the huge glider section that you can run. And it's a very interesting level where if you have 3 mushrooms or a star or a super mushroom, you can do a pretty big ultra cut in the grass towards the very last lap. But anyway, let's enjoy the awesome sights right over here into the air. You can see over here that you can easily take the high road or you can take the low road, whatever you want, in order to make your way through here. There's going to be another glider section right over here as well. Yeah. And if you're really awesome, you can take a little shortcut to the right-hand side over that way and cut off a lot of that grass. This is the most important part right over here. You want to watch out for all of the boulders that are coming your way. Yeah, and once you make it past the boulders, you're just going to be flying straight past the finish line. Excellent. Next up, we have the Star Cup over here with Piranha Plant Slide, Wario Shipyard, Neo Bowser City, and Maka Woohoo. Oh man, I've got such memories of playing these when this game came out. Let's jump into it and show you exactly what's happening. Here we go, Piranha Plant Slide, let's do it. Let's slide on down one of these crazy green warp pipes. I'm excited for it. All right, we are going underwater and in the sewers. Watch out for that gigantic piranha plant, because he will bite you. Over here, there are some Goombas that can potentially bowl into you, so be careful about that. Right over here is going to be some winding turns. So watch yourself as you're going to be going here. Watch out through this little half-pipe turn into the water. Yes. You're going to pick and choose left or right, which way, so you don't get bit. Nice. And then this part, we're going to be gliding straight out. You can see that it's very much like a Mario game, of course. Watch out for the Goombas on the last turn and go through the castle. Excellent. And here we are at Wario Shipyard. Let's deep dive into it and see what this pirate ship has for us. This one has probably the most water in the game, I would say so. I do like it because what we do in this level is really just go through and become little dolphins. We jump in and out of the water in order to make it happen. So right over here, Belly of the Beast, watch out for the dry bones fish. You don't want to get blown with this water trajectory from the little green pipes over that way. There is going to be an anchor right over here that you can get hit by, so be careful about that. Come over this way. We are going to be on the actual pirate ship right now. Of course, going on in. Watch out for the side steppers. And going to be launching ourselves straight out over here. You can see just how high we can get. Yes, landing right over here. There's going to be a little clutch shortcut that you can take. Yeah, and we are through. Here we are in a futuristic Neo Bowser City. Now, you'll see over here that the level is based off of a lot of crazy futuristic designs. If you take a look at all the buildings, and if you take a look at simply just everything, it looks so cool. Honestly, this is probably one of the better designed courses in Mario Kart in a long time. The music was actually really fun too, and you can also see that the traction stat is very, very important over here, especially in these rainy sections. If you don't have a good traction on your wheels and your kart combination, you're going to be slipping off. Right over here is going to be one of the last turns in the game. We're going to go straight inside here. There's going to be plenty of puddles that are on the ground. So just like in the previous Mario Kart games, watch out for those puddles because you'll eventually spin out. And here we have it, going through and finishing off the area. Awesome. Here we are at Maka Woohoo. Just like Woohoo Loop, it's an untraditional level where we're going to go through different laps as checkpoints and not necessarily looping around the exact same course. So anyway, let's jump over this way and see what we can do. Yeah, there we go. A little off-roading. Woohoo! Alright, so this level is really cool because we actually climb all the way up the mountain, and the mountain's name is Maka Woohoo, so that's so great. Watch out for the little patches of dirt over this way. There used to be an ultra shortcut that you could jump off the side of the map on the right-hand side over there, and Lakitu would put you very, very far ahead, but they have since patched that, thank goodness. Anyway, we're going to keep on working our way all the way up this mountain over here, and we are going to glide down it. I cannot wait. This one's so fun. Watch out, the cones over there. The road is considered out. If you played Wii Sports Resort, you'll know that this entire area over here is the castle where you did a lot of archery, which was so cool to shoot arrows all the way through, try to aim for the little hidden fruits. You can actually go through that castle if you really wanted to. It's a little bit of a shortcut, why not? Anyway, this one's going to be the final lap right over this way. Final section of the course. Watch out for the falling boulders, of course. We do not want to get bowled over by those, so be careful. And then here's the little downhill portion. You gotta watch out, man. Things are going real quick. And, of course, the gimmick of this game is going to be using gliders. So, why not glide right over here? There's going to be a building where you can go right over this way. Get additional boosts. You can choose left or right, honestly, doesn't even matter. Get some leftover coins if you need them. But ultimately, this is the very end, and there's no looping in this track. It's just a one-way ticket straight to the finish line, and that is Maka Woohoo. Let's jump into the Special Cup. These are the last 4 unique tracks in Mario Kart 7. DK Jungle, Rosalina's Ice World, a Bowser's Castle, of course you have to have it, and Rainbow Road, one of the best ones in the franchise. Let's jump in. Here we are at DK Jungle. This level is quite fun. There's a lot of different elements to it, especially winding turns. And if you played Donkey Kong Country Returns, you'll see a lot of familiar enemy faces over here. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to jump. Watch out for these little tiki guys because they will bowl you over. You do not want to get hit by them. Coming across over this way, there's going to be a fun little shortcut that you can take if you do this turn tight enough, just like that. Boom, a little glider section. Love that. You can do all these boosts right over this way. Yes, man, this is all coming back to me. Ooh, see how I'm taking these turns over here? Love it. There's a golden banana, and these little statues yell at you and potentially fall, so just be careful on the other laps. The very last part right over here houses a very easy shortcut that you can do. Boom, and you are set with DK Jungle. Here we are at Rosalina's Ice World. This level needs a lot of traction. It's your obligatory put the slipperiest course inside the game and have some fun. You'll notice over here that we've got a lot of cool half-pipe edges that will allow you to kind of move left and right up these walls over here if you really want to. Of course, it's a little bit slower if you do that. Here is going to be a pretty fun time because we do have some ice, but we can also go inside the water over here in order to see some really cute little penguins floating around. And you can get a couple tricks and coins along the way over there. Once you resurface this way, you can watch out for these icicles because they are going to totally mess you up if you hit them. Right over here is the fastest part of the track. You can see over here we got tons of boost panels. Of course, this way is going to be really great. And there's going to be a little bit of an off-road shortcut on the right-hand side if you want to use some mushrooms. We've made it to Bowser's Castle on the Nintendo 3DS. This level's so good. You know, we've come a long way from the right-angled turns and reused assets of all of the other Mario Kart Bowser Castles, and now we're going into this. It's crazy cool to see it. You can see over here that we do have thwomps, of course. We've got some little shortcuts that we can take if we're good. Yes, we are. And then some rotating stuff that we've seen in another version. I think the DS version had a rotating thing. There's going to be some underwater lava over here. Whoa, watch out. Whoa, man. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm remembering everything about this. You can risk, oh man, you can risk going through any of those little jumps, but if you do it wrong, you can potentially get hit by any of those lava spires, and you don't want to do that. Here we go, the last but not least, big old section, of course, into a glider, and this is the end of the lap. Super fun. And here we are, the final level in the game. That's unique, of course. It's Rainbow Road. It's a road that you go, and I'm excited to show it to you because it's not traditional like the previous Rainbow Roads where you have lap counters. This is based off of sections like Maka-Wuhu and Wuhu Loop. This one is so good. There's just so much to absorb in it, and it's regarded as one of the best Rainbow Roads in Mario Kart history. Absolutely. There's nothing dull or boring about it at all. There's just so many things that you can do. Anyway, we're going to come right over this way, jump on this little bouncy section. It looks like a rainbow mushroom. And we're going to come along right over this way. If you keep on pressing the R button, you can probably hit some of these jumps over here in order to get a couple different boosts along the way. That was our first section. We're going on to the second section now. What's really cool about this is doing some crazy low dives and dipping straight over there with the glider in order to cut off way big portions of track. Anyway, we're going to come over here. Don't really need too many of those coins. We're going to do the exact same thing right over here. We're going to dip down and then straight up. Oh, yeah, there we go. Big stretch. Nice. Good shortcut. And, of course, this is the hard part. You do want to watch out as this wavy road is super hard to do it. Anyway, we got our boost panel, and now we're literally on the moon. There's moon physics. As you can see, I'm literally flying in midair. Woo, watch out. And then there's these chain chomps over here that are rolling around too. These are some pretty unique boost panels here, so make sure that you are driving on them as much as possible to launch yourself forward. Anyway, pretty awesome corkscrew. You can get a couple additional boosts this way if you're good. And then here's the glider section. Yeah, the very end. What I like to do is launch myself right off of that so that we can continuously get these huge ramp boosts. Anyway, it's the final area over here. There's going to be a very fun clutch shortcut. I'm going to see if I can do it for you guys. It's right over here. Yo-ho! Boom! Awesome. So if you have a mushroom, you can absolutely cut off the final area of Rainbow Road. So now we're here at the retro tracks. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to this retrospective, a lot of these names will sound familiar to you. So take a moment, go review all the previous episodes, and then jump on in so that you can see exactly how Mario Kart has evolved from the Wii version, the Game Boy Advance, N64, DS, and even Super Nintendo. Let's jump into it. We're revisiting Luigi Raceway from the N64. Oh man. Yeah, it's like the episode was just not too long ago. Here we go. And the detail and absolutely all the assets, the music, super fun. They did an amazing job with this level. And just seeing that you can do a couple different things. You could jump on that little rail over that way on the right-hand side. It shows the big old Jumbotron. Lots of things happening over here with this one. And if you do have mushrooms, you can absolutely cut off a lot of this sand on the left-hand side over here. So yeah, feel free. I remember getting a super mushroom and just blazing straight through that. So anyway, that is the N64 version of Luigi Circuit. We know that there's many Bowser Castle levels in the Game Boy Advance game, but this is Bowser Castle 1, so a lot of you guys will absolutely remember this one. It seems like it's scaled a lot bigger than what it was in the actual Game Boy Advance game. So anyway, jumping on through over here, should be very familiar with these coins and these turns. So you'll notice that there's going to be a little bit of innovation too. On the second lap, there's actually a glider section right over there that will allow you to glide across to the left and fly straight over the lava. Let's do it, man. One of the most iconic levels from Mario Kart Wii is none other than Mushroom Gorge. Oh man, this level is so fun because of the bounces, because of the different mushrooms that are over here, and because of the final mushroom cut that you can do if you're good at the game. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to jump right over this way like we usually do from the Wii version. It's a little bit faster if you go there. And then here we go into the Mushroom Cave. Oh man, you better watch it. Alright, I'm gonna take this way, because that blue mushroom over there is a little bit of a glider section. So if you're really good in Mario Kart, what you can do is bounce off of this, and then fly across the gap. Woo! It's really hard to do. But anyway, there's some Goombas over there like they were in the Wii version. Here we are, Luigi's Mansion from the Nintendo DS version. Oh my goodness. Of course we're gonna love this level. This level is so good. it really comes to life in this 3DS version. Of course, with the swinging chandelier, you'll also see boos and portraits that are shaking on the walls. They look so fun. Anyway, we'll see all of the walking trees as well, too. What you want to do is you want to cut through this area and use a mushroom really easily to fly through this section here. Oh, so cool. It adds a little layer of something brand new to the level that wasn't in the DS version. Anyway, another glider section right over this way. We're going to be watching out for all of those different trees, gliding on down, picking up some coins if you aimed for it, and the final stretch before the finish line. Here we are at the Banana Cup, even more retro tracks that you will absolutely recognize from our previous retrospectives. Koopa Beach, Mario Circuit 2, Coconut Mall is back, and of course, Waluigi Pinball. Let's take a look. Here we are at Koopa Troopa Beach. Oh man, this level is so good. I remember this all the way on the N64 version. It is so fun to see how it's come on board with this game. Of course, you can do some snaking over here. Watch out for the side steppers. They are absolutely going to hit you. And just like in the N64 version, you can take a pretty cool shortcut, but they adjusted it differently. We're going to see over here that you're going to go through this little section if you had enough speed. You can also go right up above here, just like it kind of was in the N64 version. And if you really want to, you can kind of go in the water that way. Either way, you're all set and ready to go with Koopa Troopa Beach. Here we are at SNES Mario Circuit 2. Ooh, the changes they made in this level. Oh my goodness. Of course we love this level. It is so good. There's a shortcut that you can take right over there on the left-hand side if you had a mushroom. Watch out for the oil slicks over this way. Mamma mia. Let's take a look. Anyway, 3 coins right off the bat. Boom! We're going to see that the music is going to be the exact same too. If you're cool, you can do this little cut. Yeah! Ooh, I remember doing that. And then right over here is a fun little glider section. If you bounce off of this thing, yeah, you can do some really cool stuff towards the finish line. Get your wallet ready. We're going back to Coconut Mall. One of the most popular levels in Mario Kart Wii is now here in the 3DS version. Of course, pay attention to the escalators. Yeah! Right over this way, if you have a mushroom, you can go through that little store for an additional shortcut. So fun. Music is just so lively. Lots of really fun jumps. And who wouldn't want to be in a level where you're literally driving through an entire mall? How cool is that? Anyway, you can do all sorts of different shortcuts right over this way, jumping off of the different fountains, getting some coins. You can choose whatever way you want to go. I think top in this game is going to be a lot faster because you get the glider section here. Anyway, super fun. It says thank you right over that way. Hey, and then watch out for the crazy drivers. These are going to be the Miis in the game. Oh my goodness. Yeah, watch out for them. They're just backing up for some reason. Anyway, that's Coconut Mall. Now, Waluigi didn't make the playable character roster, but his level did. Hey, there's a little something for Waluigi fans. What we have over this way is going to be none other than Waluigi Pinball. Of course, a lot of people like this level because it's just a giant pinball machine. There's no real shortcuts, and it is a little frustrating at times, especially if you get hit by the specific pinballs in certain areas of the map. But nonetheless, as long as you got some good driving skills, you're going to be all set and ready to go. Right over here is going to be the fun little corkscrew on the way down. You're good if you can get all 5 of those coins right over there. Luckily for us, we didn't get landed on by that entire giant pinball. So let's see what we can do over here in this section. You can see that right over in this section, what you want to do is like hop on the way down. This is a way of getting a lot more speed in the game if you do like the little hops. I do remember that a lot. And there we have it. We didn't get hit by any of the flippers, but of course we did take the final coins right over here at Waluigi Pinball. Super fun time. Alright, we're here at the Leaf Cup. Even more retro tracks coming your way in the form of Calamari Desert, DK Pass, Daisy Cruiser, and Maple Tree Way. Let's see what these levels have to offer. Here we go, Calamari Desert. Don't get blown away by the sand over here. If you have a good traction stat, just like we do right over here, you'll be able to do some really good work. Anyway, I want to show you this shortcut over here because this is completely new to this entire level. It's great. You can actually use a couple mushrooms and then fly straight over absolutely everything. So cool in Mario Kart 7. Oh, I love it. Anyway, we're going to keep on turning right over this way. You got to watch out for the train too. Just like in the N64 version, you'll potentially get hit by it. So be very careful as you're playing on. Anyway, we're going to see that there's going to be a clutch shortcut right over there and a couple more coins to finish off Calamari Desert. Here we are, back at DK Pass. Of course, we need more ice levels in the game. Why not? get your big red monster wheels and essentially don't get affected by any of the slipperiness over here. This is good. Anyway, you'll be able to see right over this way that, oof, watch out. Yeah, there's going to be snowmen, of course, like in the previous version of this. And there's going to be snowballs that will bowl you over, especially one right over here in the GP mode. You'll also see that there's a really, really fun, shortcut that you can take right over this way. And if you're on top of that mountain over there, you can indeed get that secret item block. And true story, this is my first level where I learned how to dodge a blue shell by using a mushroom, simply by getting that guaranteed mushroom over there. Anyway, you get some last minute coins over here. I would say dip down really quick so you can take this last section super tight and not get hit by any of those little snowmen just looking to get you. All aboard Daisy Cruiser. Here we are. Ooh, this level is cool. I do remember this on the GameCube version. This was so fun, just seeing all the tables move, and just the fact that you're on a gigantic yacht is just so cool. You can see some different Mii characters also on the yacht with you. How fun is that? Anyway, we're going to move right down this way, and you'll be able to see all the moving tables. Oh, are they going to move? Yes, they... Oof! Yes, of course they are, man. Oh, man, that totally slowed me down and messed me up. That's okay. Oh, yes. All right, so we're going to take top path versus taking bottom path over this way because it is a little bit faster. And you can see right over here, this is the deck. We're going to make our way all the way through here and come erupting straight out of this section towards the finish line. Awesome job. And here we are at Maple Tree Way. Look at all of the maple leaves falling down. Ah, such fall vibes, am I right? Anyway, this level's so fun because there's a lot of winding pathways and a gigantic cannon. Whenever you're on cannons, you want to press down on the control stick to lean all the way up to make yourself go a little faster. The cool thing about this level is that those leaf piles over there can potentially house either a mushroom or a star. So that means if you're in first place, you can absolutely pick up a star just for doing that. Oh my gosh. So lucky. And then dodging a blue shell by doing that too. Oh my goodness. Anyway, little U-turn right over here, of course, as we do. A very narrow section, just like we've seen in the Wii version over here. Great spot for back spamming the green shells or putting bananas on board. Anyway, choose left or right, whatever you want. You can go inside the tree for an additional boost, and keep your eyes peeled to the right-hand side for an additional shortcut just like this. Awesome. And here we are, the final cup of the game, none other than the Lightning Cup, housing another Rainbow Road. And yes, it's the very first original Rainbow Road from Super Nintendo. I cannot wait to show you this glow up. Let's jump in. All right, here we go. Let's jump into the Koopa Cape level from Mario Kart Wii. This one is a pretty classic stage. I like it because it's pretty open, and the loop is actually really cool too. Anyway, taking a look over this way, there is a shortcut that you can take through the grass over here. And what's cool about these Goombas is that if you do have a shell, you can fire the shell right at the Goomba, and then they'll give you a mushroom that you can potentially use. Anyway, we're going to do some crazy fun little jumps right over here. You can cut off sections of track if you want to use mushrooms, but staying in the waterways is going to be the best way of getting the most speed because it's pushing you forward. Anyway, obligatory underwater section right over here looks really fun. Watch out for the Cheep Cheep, of course. They will slow you down if you run into them. And just be very careful on this half pipe as you're going on through because we are going to be erupted out of the other side over here towards the waterfall. You can indeed boost through the waterfall if you really want to. It's pretty risky because that waterfall can push you off. Here we go. Dino Dino Jungle has been resurrected from Mario Kart Double Dash. Let's see what's different about it. And the return of that gigantic Brontosaurus is still here. I love that. It's a little bit more active this time around, and you can dodge around the feet and make your way through it. This one's going to be the same triple pathway. If you take the rightmost path, there's a boost panel over there that you can easily go through. And speaking of rightmost paths, you can indeed come over this way with the mushroom, or if you have the red monster wheels, it's not that big of a slowdown. Anyway, coming right over this way, of course, there's going to be a glider section where we could glide straight over the dinosaur, or kind of bump into his neck if you wanted to. Anyway, last section this way is going to be pretty clutch. You do have to pay attention to these geysers again, as they do give a little hint as to where they're going to erupt. And here we are at DS Airship Fortress. Yes, there's going to be rocky wrenches, there's going to be bullet bills, the whole 9 yards is absolutely here for us. And I'm here for it. Anyway, You can see over here the music is just so fun. It's the exact same thing as it was before. Watch out for these rocky wrenches as they will indeed pop up and hit you, so be careful. Right over here is actually kind of fun if you have any shells or something to break those boxes with. Some of those boxes will actually house mushrooms that will allow you to boost in that section. Anyway, right over here is going to be the obligatory cannon portion. You can eject out of your little parasol if you want to and take this really, really tight just to make sure that you're going as fast as possible. This little section right over here is going to be super easy to get every coin and boost your way all the way to the end. Excellent job. Here we go, we've come full circle, and now we're going to jump into the SNES Rainbow Road. Now remember, this level does not have any railings. If you fall off, that's 100% on you. And just be very careful of those thwomps, as they do have superstars on them, and that makes them impervious to anything. And you'll also notice that whenever they do slam down, there are going to be some different waves throughout the entire map, which will allow you to trick off of it. Right over here is going to be a pathway, or you could go straight down the middle with a mushroom if you have it. And we're going to thread the needle by going straight in between the last two thwomp to finish off SNES Rainbow Road. Awesome job, man. And there you have it, one lap in each of the levels in Mario Kart 7. This game will definitely go down in my book as one of the most memorable because honestly, I started my whole gaming content creation with this game. Honestly, I remember playing this game and thinking I was so good at it that I might as well record it and try to build up a community of people that love this game as much as I do. And this was way back in 2011, 2012? Oh my gosh. Anyway, Mario Kart 7, definitely near and dear to my heart. And speaking of near and dear to my heart, Mario Kart 8 is where it's at. This is where the game currently stands. So, next episode is going to be all about Mario Kart 8 and all the really awesome levels within there. Trust me, there's a lot of them, so you're going to absolutely love it. Anyway, that's going to be it for our retrospective for Mario Kart 7. Let me know what you thought about it, of course, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Only on Happy Kids Free Fun Learn.